right now on KGW News.
The county didn't do anything. The chair did.
The contentious debate over the future of Oregon's aging arena.
I don't appreciate the goalposts continuing to move.
Plus, caught on camera, the aftermath of a Gresham shooting that sent a teenager to the hospital with 3 other teens now under arrest. Then, the startling admissions, more than one, from the man accused of starting a massive wildfire that destroyed hundreds of homes.
To know that all could have been avoided is heartbreaking, man.
And later, from Amtrak to asbestos.
Not a lot, but like about this much, a thin spread.
The new fallout and plans for demolition when it comes to this century-old building, potentially on the verge of collapse.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
And we start tonight with a breaking news update on a fast-moving fire that broke out in the middle of the Dalles this evening. That brush fire, caught on camera by witnesses, quickly grew large enough to be seen on our sky camera from the Oregon Veterans Home with a big plume of smoke billowing through the gorge. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm David Mulco. The good news here, crews got the flames out before they reached homes and businesses. Alma McCarty has a look at the quick work that kept this one from turning into another massive wildfire.
Here in the Dalles, fire officials tell me that once firefighters got to scene, it only took an hour and a half to stop the forward progress on this fire burning in the middle of town.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Understandable shock as flames moved quickly, torching trees as smoke filled the sky.
That tree went so fast. Look at all of that coming from the other side over there.
The fire starting near Mill Creek, right behind and below a cluster of businesses.
The initial crews arrived on scene within minutes. Our station one's only a couple blocks away. They arrived to find heavy fire in the drainage and immediately upgraded the alarm.
Mid-Columbia Fire Chief David Jensen says more than a dozen fire departments showed up to help with trucks and tools and more than 75 firefighters.
Well, at the beginning it was a little bit of a struggle because the fire was really moving on 3 different fronts.
The chief reported no structures lost, although a car and a trailer were damaged. The fire less than 5 acres in size.
Now this fire, even though it's small acreage-wise, there's many structures within this, both commercial and residential condominiums that are all impacted.
The chief tells me that for a fire this small, they do 100% suppression, meaning that crews stay until the job is done. Then a small number will stay overnight to monitor the situation, and the investigation continues in the morning. In the Dalles, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Feels like we got lucky with that one. Meanwhile, we're following breaking news of the Grasshopper fire, the one burning southeast of Mount Hood. Take a look at this. Evacuations have expanded and the highway is now closed. A live look here from a camera on top the Mount Hood Meadows ski lifts with flames and smoke in the distance. Tonight, ODOT making the call to shut down Highway 35 between Bennett Pass Snow Park and Baseline Road as the fire creeps closer. This is about 4 miles east of the Highway 26 junction there. The Sheriff's Office also adding the Billy Bob Snow Park to the Level 3 Go Now evacuation zones. That's about 5 miles east of Highway 35. Meadows still under a Level 3. Timberline and Government Camp still under a Level 1. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Matt Sfino now. Matt, a lot going on. Where do you want to start?
A lot going on for sure. I got to go back to the Dalles and show you a time lapse of the smoke from that fire because it was so dramatic when that one broke on out. And as you mentioned, as we told you, that one is done, which is great to see. But the smoke continues east of the Cascades. Here west of the Cascades, our air quality is really improving. Notice all the dots are yellow. We're in the moderate category. Yesterday it was unhealthy. Today, earlier, unhealthy. For sensitive groups, we keep improving. And see the green dots at the coast indicating good or even great air quality. We should have that by tomorrow afternoon. So we are going in the right direction here. Even up around Mount Hood and Hood River and the Dalles, the air quality has improved to moderate there. It's really the worst air quality is up in Northeast Oregon as they are downwind of all the fires that are burning in our state. Portland right now is 73. The wind is calm and the sky is clear. I even saw some stars out there earlier. As I said, the winds are calm, but we have onshore flow. And while the winds are light in the Dalles and Hood River now, they're going to pick up tomorrow, be out of the west. So we really don't need any new fires with the winds coming up as they will be. Decreasing smoke and haze, that's happening. That'll continue to happen. We'll be in the upper 80s tomorrow, but we'll avoid 90. And smoke-free weekend west of the Cascades. Not so east of the Cascades, but we're going to clear things out, David. More on all this in a bit. Back to you.
That's great news. Thanks, Matt. To the future of Moda now, with lengthy debates today at both the city and county levels over hundreds of millions in taxpayer dollars to upgrade Oregon's aging arena and, yes, secure the Blazers for years to come. Let us start at City Hall, and while councilors discussed 18 amendments to a term sheet deal, none of them passed. 0. John Adams has our update.
Portland City Council spent over 2 hours debating changes to a term sheet sent to the Trailblazers organization in mid-July. The term sheet meant to be a starting place in negotiations over funding for renovations to the aging Moda Center. The meeting contentious as amendment after amendment was voted down.
So we're going to be bringing amendments again on August 12th, or are we expected to rubber stamp this?
No, Councilor, there was engagement on this. We had a series of 16 or 14 votes just now, and they failed.
Proposed changes that failed included raising the fee the city gets from ticket sales at Moda to making concessions inside street pricing, similar to what is seen at PDX. After the votes, a number of councilors left the chamber feeling frustrated.
I'm feeling really defeated, and I think that Portlanders expected more from us today.
Councilor Mitch Green says he will continue to push for transparency before the council's vote on the term sheet next week.
And not negotiate from a position of fear and frankly adopt a term sheet that would set us on the course for the worst possible deal in the history of sports deals.
I mean, I think that they are prioritizing entirely the NBA's position, Tom Dundon's position.
Councilor Angelita Murillo says she is not in support of the current term sheet and is disappointed changes weren't made on Thursday.
I also see a council that is choosing to relinquish our own power by not making any changes in this public venue when we have the opportunity to.
Other councilors like Loretta Smith believe the current term sheet is a good starting place for negotiations with the Blazers organization.
I think it is something that can keep us here in the city of Portland, keep the Blazers here and keep them here with a fair deal.
John Adams reporting there. Remember, the Blazers have called this term sheet a non-starter negotiating tactic or not, right? City Council is working on a finalized term sheet set to vote next Wednesday at a council meeting.
I got to object to what was just said.
I don't appreciate being impugned by anybody on this body.
I'm sorry. Please do not interrupt me when I'm speaking.
Because you're continuing to argue with Commissioner Moyer.
Well, meanwhile, that was just part of the contentious back and forth on the county level today as commissioners discussed their contribution to the product. Okay, in the end, they did approve about $100 million in some extra terms. The commissioners want the Blazers to commit to stay in Portland for at least 20 years or risk having to pay the money back. They also want a plan in place to recoup some of their investment that would, in theory, come from an annual fee the city would collect from the Blazers. Hours and hours of public testimony exposing a lot of opinions.
We want the team to stay. We want the arena improved.
To me, if you truly want to leave a mark, do it by protecting county jobs.
The outstanding question tonight, where the funds will come from. It's a big one. Tonight, new video shows a disturbing shooting in Gresham, and police say everyone involved in this are teenagers. Take a look. This was in the middle of the afternoon Saturday near Northeast 188th and Burnside. Detectives say 2 14-year-olds and a 19-year-old were involved. From surveillance cameras, you can see at least 2 of them shooting handguns and then running off. One of the suspects then comes back with what looks like an assault rifle and fires again. Police say a 17-year-old was shot multiple times. Authorities used a drone to track down one of the suspects. A short time later, police say he is 19-year-old Cruz Aguilar. The 2 14-year-olds were arrested yesterday. All 3 face attempted murder charges.
So we know that young men are more impacted by criminal activity, both on the victim side and the suspect side. But seeing kids that are 14 engaged in that kind of violence is always upsetting.
The 17-year-old victim is still in the hospital and in critical condition. Well, let us return to wildfires now, where new court documents show the 37-year-old man charged with intentionally starting the Old Trails fire in Spokane has now admitted to being a serial arsonist. More than 800 structures have burned since 3 fires around the city sparked over the weekend. And now court documents say Aaron Farinacci admitted to police he lit dozens of fires over several months and waited for what he called a, quote, perfect day to light the Old Trails fire. Sebastian Robertson with the update.
Please rise.
Thank you. Please be seated.
The newly filed court documents paint a picture of a troubled man obsessed with fire who spent 2 weeks meticulously planning out what would become the destructive Old Trails fire.
To know that that all could have been avoided is heartbreaking, man.
Records show shortly after his arrest, Farinacci told police he hadn't started any fires. But an hour and a half into the interview, he started talking. He admitted being a serial arsonist who'd set 25 fires near his Spokane apartment since last year. He told investigators fire is powerful, beautiful, and symbolizes a kind of rebirth.
They do find probable cause for the amended charges and finding probable cause at this time.
Spokane prosecutors now charging him with 5 counts of arson, including for intentionally starting the Aubrey White fire in July of 2025, which grew to more than 1,200 acres. Investigators say tips from the public first led them to Farinacci. Deputies contacted him the day the Old Trails fire started and found him carrying waterproof matches and a lighter, but didn't yet have enough evidence to arrest him.
I'm disgusted. Like I said, we sat in our car for 3 hours in the Safeway parking lot, waiting it out with our 10-year-old in the back seat asking, are we going to be okay? What's going on? So something that she's going to remember for the rest of her life, and knowing somebody caused that is horrible.
Investigators say Farinacci admitted he knew arson was an easy crime to get away with if you have time.
Sebastian Robertson there. Farinacci also served 12 years in prison after he was convicted of manslaughter in the 2010 killing of his father. He did not enter a plea today and his defense has asked for a competency evaluation. If he is found fit to stand trial, he likely will enter a plea tomorrow.